welcome. It is Rachel here, and welcome to another video on this stash busting crop weekend. So I know that picture went by quickly, but I'm going to explain it in a moment. Those are the 5 items that you are required to use in this recipe challenge. So basically I've come up with a quote-unquote recipe of 5 things that you need to include in your project. And if you don't know, Scrapbook Nerd is doing a stash busting weekend crop, and we're encouraging you to use up your stash and get ready for those new collections that are coming out, and yeah, just really use up what you have. I know that's important for me to do, and I'm glad I used up a lot of stuff that I have here. I am using some Pink Fresh Studio goodies that I just have in my stash, and yeah, they're older items. Some of them actually are still in the shop, so if you do love Pink Fresh Studio, you will probably be able to find some of these items, but they are a little bit older. So let me think. I looked in the shop, and there's this really gorgeous like journaling set that's from an older Pink Fresh Studio collection that we still have in the shop. So I use a lot of that, and I'm running low on it, but it is still in the shop. So a lot of these items still could be found there. But yeah, let's work through that stash and use up our stuff, because why have it sitting in containers when you could use it on pretty projects? So let me tell you the recipe. All right, so here it is. I'm just looking at where I wrote it just so I don't mess it up. Okay, recipe challenge. Number 1, a sprinkle of sequins. Number 2, a dash of tiny word stickers. Number 3, a handful of twine. Number 4, plenty of scrap paper. And number 5, a sprinkle of enamel dots. So you can interpret these in any way you want. When I say a sprinkle, I don't mean like actually sprinkle it on the paper. I just mean use some in any way you would like. Yeah, so those are the 5 things you need to use, and they'll be posted on our Facebook page and everything, so you'll be able to find it all there. No worries about that. And you have until next Saturday to complete the challenge. So if you would like to participate, I would love for you to join along. This was fun for me to do too. And this layout is a little bit different for me. Yeah, it's a little bit different. And the reason for that is because I did some mixed media. I don't do mixed media all the time. I don't do it a lot at all, actually. So it was it was hard for me because I don't have a lot of mixed media products in my stash. It was hard for me to like find colors that matched my papers and the rest of the things that I was doing. But I think in the end it turned out nice. It's just if I would have left it all white, I think that would have been more me. Like if I had a lot of white space and I left it to just soft colors, I think that would have been more me. But for some reason, I decided to do mixed media. Who knows why? I just didn't really know where to go with the layout. But as you can see here, I'm using a lot of scrap paper on those layers, and I distressed them all. And now I am going to attach the twine, which is one of the ingredients, to these little tags. So I have the scrap paper and I have the twine, 2 things so far. And I did a little bit of sewing on that paper to give it another texture. In the end, I kind of wish I used black thread, but I didn't have any at that time in that moment, so I just stuck with white. And then you'll see at the end I actually do I just draw a border because I really wanted the border to be black, but I didn't have black thread at that moment, so writing it was. So that's that. I really felt this layout also needed some kind of circular element because there were a lot of like straight angles, so that's why I added that circle piece. And now comes the mixed media. So I have this gesso that's kind of old. Honestly, I think I should have added water to this gesso because it was very thick and goopy, and I don't know, I think it would have applied better if I would have used like added water or maybe just gotten a new jar altogether. But yeah, so I'm gonna just use this brush to apply the gesso, and I'm going to use I used a heat tool to dry it. And now I'm going to take out my sprays. So there's like distress sprays and mist sprays of all different kinds and brands that I just had in my stash. So I'm going to try and use those, and I have some water nearby so that I can what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. Water down, I guess, the sprays, and then I have a paintbrush to spread it a little bit better. So if you've never used gesso before, it really helps to be able to spread the colors better, and it would just really soak into the paper if you didn't use gesso. So I'm going to use my heat tool again and dry that a little bit, not all the way, but enough where it won't mix and make a brown. I tried to use this color, really didn't work, not anything like I pictured. So that's okay, you can just wipe it off. That's the beauty of gesso. If I didn't use gesso, it would probably just soak right in and I wouldn't be able to wipe it off right away. So I'm going to try a different color. I'm going to try something different. And again, it's a lot darker, this layout, than I wanted it to be. But in the end, I love the mixed media itself. Like, I love how it turned out. I just didn't love how dark it was. Like, I wish I would have used like a different collection then if it was going to be so dark. Also, one of the actual spray parts on one of the bottles isn't working, so I had to switch them, and then there was still like blue liquid left in that one, so it wasn't quite purple yet. Anyway, long story short, I just switched the caps of the bottles, and I eventually got purple out of it, so that's good. But you can see right there, it's like a mix of the purple and blue because of the cap that I switched over. But it does eventually get purple, and that is what I was going for. Who knows why? Because there's no purple in any of the papers I used. So who knows? But that looks super pretty. I love the way that looks. I think the colors look so cool together. I love the layers. I love the splattering. Now I'm adding some gold. That is Heidi Swap Color Shine. And I think that looks pretty against all the vibrant colors. So I really love the way the background ended up turning out. I think and my hands were just a crazy mess. I think I just need to get more colors. So I definitely think that might be something I will do on my next Scrapbook Nerd order, because it was a lot of fun to make the background. I just need colors that match the collections I have better. So then I decided to add that hexagon in there, those two hexagons, because that added a little bit more purple. Not quite the same purple, but it did the trick. And then this paper as well, adding it in there to just get a little bit more purple in. But in the end, you'll see what I do to bring it all together. So now I'm going to add these enamel dots, and these are actually Pink Fresh Studio enamel dots. I'm guessing we might still have them in the shop because I think they're newer ones. Honestly, I can't totally remember, but I think they're from this year, so they might still be in the shop. And so I got some colors that were matching, again, bringing in more of that purple, and enamel dots are one of the items on the recipe. So 3 items down. All we need left are tiny word stickers and sequins. So you'll see what I do right here. I have this jar of sequins that I thought were just the absolute perfect colors, the blues and the purples. It really couldn't have been more perfect. That's actually just from Joann's that I got a long time ago. But I thought these sequins are perfect to sprinkle all over the page. And I think that helped tie in the background with the paper because I overlapped some of the sequins on the paper. So it kind of brought it all together, which I think helped, but it's not perfect. I would have loved to have like yellow in the background or something, But like I said, I just don't have those colors, so that was kind of unfortunate. Although now that I think about it, I probably could have used watercolors or something, or I could have used acrylic paints and watered it down. But whatever, it is what it is, and I love the way this looks with the sequins, kind of like raining down the page and with all the mixed media. I don't know, it's pretty. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the way it turned out. And then you're also going to see in a moment here, I add some yellow hearts sprinkled down the page, and that will also bring in the yellow from the papers. That was kind of my way of tying in the background with the yellow papers, because like I said, didn't have any yellow either. So that was my little solution. And another thing I'm going to do is I am going to add my title with my Dymo label maker thing. And I actually use this label maker a lot for scrapbooking, and it's going to be titled Another Slurpee. And I'm just going to use some staples to attach that. I did use some staples throughout the papers as well. And so that's what is going to be my tiny word sticker, is the staple, or not the staples, the labels. So that's what I use as my tiny word sticker. So you can kind of interpret it in any way you want. And then I'm going to tie in again that black with some black mist spray. So there's a lot of fun splatters going on. And then I'm going to put some of the splatters on the papers as well to really tie that in. So it's not like the papers are just a harsh white. And then here are those yellow hearts I was talking about. And I think that really helps, at least especially in person. You can tell that helps a lot. So I encourage you to go to the Scrapbook Nerd Facebook page and check out this crop weekend we're doing. I'm really excited to be a part of it. Join in on the challenge, win some prizes, check out the shop, use up your stash, all that fun stuff. You can see the glitter of the sequins. I love it. And you can find the recipe on the Facebook page. Have a great day. Bye.